So I've been sitting alone in my house for about 15 hours? Yeah, 15 hours sounds about right. 15 hours alone in my house with a box of Cheez-Its and some Pop-Tarts, just sitting and staring at the wall. And somewhere within that 15-hour span of time, I had one single thought, only one. Rest of it was just deep unconsciousness. But I had a thought, and it was, you know, I graduated from college about almost a year ago, honestly, at this point, and I went for social media marketing and stuff like that. And I've been doing that. I've been doing that for the past year. Doing it pretty well, in my opinion. But I also did graduate with a minor in journalism, and I haven't been doing pretty much anything with that. And so I thought to myself, you know, it's a shame. It's a shame I'm not using that set of skills I developed, getting that journalism minor. And then I realized, actually, no, it's not, because I didn't actually want to be a journalism minor. I just kind of happened to get it because I took enough media classes as part of the social media thing. So I just kind of slapped that onto the degree because it applied, and I graduated with a journalism minor. So I'm not really a journalist, but, you know, Alex Jones isn't either, and he seems to be doing pretty well for himself. I hear things are going great with his family, so fuck it. I can have my own news program, and I'm gonna make it JRPG themed because I can do whatever the fuck I want. Okay, so the reality is I just need a dumping ground to place all of the things I can't justify making individual videos for. Whatever, fuck it. As a wise philosopher once said, let's get right. Hello everyone, welcome to Questlog. This is where all of the news happens. Starting out strong here tonight with leaked info regarding the peace talks between North and South Korea. A South Korean informant uploaded a document claiming that President Trump attempted to bribe South Korean diplomats to undermine the negotiations. When questioned, Trump allegedly claimed that he was a big fan of THQ's first-person shooter game Homefront and, quote, would hate to see a work of art made irrelevant. Released in 2011 to negative reception, Homefront took place in a hypothetical future in which North Korea invaded and occupied the United States. Earlier today, Trump fired back against the rumors, tweeting, "Fake news, witch hunt. The Dems claim my people have ties to the abandoned Chaos Studios. THQ made great games, just some of the best games, but I never played them. My people never played them. Fake news media needs to grow up. I've never even played Homefront." But about 20 minutes after the tweet was made, a Reddit user posted a link to a commentated Homefront gameplay video from 2011 by YouTube user BigMoney15, who shares the same profile picture as Trump's Twitter, and sounds a lot like Trump himself. Luckily, we managed to grab a few clips from the 10-minute video before it was made private.
Hello, everyone. I'm going to tell you a couple of stories, and we're going to have a lot of fun tonight. Look at this guy. They don't have my talent, my money, or especially my good looks.
The Trump administration has not yet released a statement regarding this video, but we will be sure to keep you posted. In movie news, fans are in an uproar regarding Marvel Studios' latest blockbuster, Avengers Infinity War. Don't worry, folks. We know the film has only been out for a couple of days, so we're going to avoid spoilers. The controversy comes from the new film's plot reportedly ignoring the story beats put in place by Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, Capcom's first and only addition to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The fighting game's story serves as a transition between the last two Avengers films, closing out the story of Ultron and giving Thanos some character development before he was to be seen on the big screen. Or so it seems. All 37 players of the game launched a letter-writing campaign demanding that producer Kevin Feige apologize, but according to numerous sources, he just laughed and went back to playing Dragon Ball FighterZ. And last but not least, we have an update on the Final Fantasy VII Remake, and things are looking grim. A recent report heavily implying that the game is still in the early stages of development drew serious ire from the online community. Speculation by industry experts suggests that we may not be seeing the Final Fantasy Remake in 2018. We here at the Rasen Report managed to sneak into Square Enix HQ and interview an environment designer on the project who wishes to remain anonymous. When we asked what it was like to work on the remake, this is what he had to say. "I hate it. I haven't seen my family since the E3 announcement 3 years ago. Every morning at exactly 8 AM, they place a lifelike wax doll of Cloud Strife in a chair in the corner of the room. It's hard to get work done with the Cloud doll staring at us. If any of the staff members complain about it, Nomura himself comes downstairs to handcuff the employee to the doll for the rest of the day. Then, he crouches down next to them and yells, "Apologize to Mr. Strife," until the employee cries. Our hearts go out to the poor people still attached to that project. Moving right along, it is time now for Inventory Management, the segment in which I cover the random shit I bought this month. For those of us who were lucky enough to jump on it, a price error caused the Kindle Paperwhite to go on sale for only $40. Even though I have a phone and tablet to read ebooks with, I thought that for $40 this was a steal, and it wasn't a bad idea to have a dedicated electronic reading device. I'm not sure if it's the electronic ink or the lighting of the screen, but I'm finding that the Kindle is a lot more pleasant to read at night compared to a bright tablet or phone screen, so kudos to Amazon. Good stuff. In much less exciting news, I bought the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game by Platinum. Now, I'm gonna be honest, never been much of a TMNT fan. Even as a kid, I kinda thought they were stupid. But I love Platinum games, and even though this is allegedly their worst game ever, I wanted to buy it, and really only for one reason, because it is currently delisted on all of the digital storefronts alongside Transformers and Legend of Korra. I happen to have those other two games on my PSN account and Steam account respectively, but I never managed to pick up this one before it got delisted. And even though it's a bad game, I decided that at least I always want access to it, so I picked it up. Probably spent way too much money on this thing, but whatever. Fuck it. Those of you who follow me know that a few months back I jumped on the PSVR bandwagon, and as a result I picked up 2 PlayStation Move controllers. After years of accumulating PS3 games that also happen to have Move support, I figured what the hell, and I ordered the PlayStation 3i, which you need to make the Move controllers work on that console. But I went a step even further and ordered the PlayStation 3 navigation controller, aka the shitty nunchuck ripoff, and the PlayStation 3 Sharpshooter, aka secondhand embarrassment. You know, I look at this, and the first thing that comes to mind is corporate mistake. I bought all 3 of these devices used for ridiculously cheap prices, and they all came in pretty good condition, except for the Sharpshooter, which had some weird reddish-brown residue on it. But I got out some cleaning equipment and gloves and scrubbed that shit down real nice. I'm just hoping that I didn't buy someone's murder weapon. And somewhat related, I also ordered the PSVR game Farpoint. I haven't cracked it open yet though, because I still lack the PSVR aim controller, and right now I just can't justify buying 2 Sony gun peripherals that closely together. And because I'm a dipshit, I also bought the Crow City of Angels Wicked Prayer Blu-ray double pack. If you want to hear me scream into the void about how annoying it is to buy the Crow movies on Blu-ray, stay tuned for We Are Finally Podcast episode 26. Well, that's all the stupid shit I bought this month. Let's move right on along to Tavern Recommendations, where I recommend shit that I really liked this month. So this first Tavern Recommendations is going to be very YouTube video-centric, but that's just a coincidence, I swear. My first recommendation, though, is not a online video, but a book. I'm 80 pages away from finishing Brandon Sanderson's The Way of Kings, the first in a 10-part book series of fantasy epics known as the Stormlight Archive. The novel does a wonderful job of introducing you to the world and its story through a set of numerous viewpoint characters who are all well-defined and change over the course of the adventure. While I do have some minor gripes with the book, Sanderson manages to balance world-building and character development with a level of mastery and craft that few others can accomplish. I'm excited to finish it up and start book number 2. Moving on right along to our second recommendation here, I want to give a quick shout out to Japanese YouTuber Donguri, who makes art pieces out of games' combat systems. Specifically this month, Donguri uploaded Nier Automata Combo Movie 2, in which he shows off some of the complex maneuvers you can pull off in a game that many action fans criticized as being too shallow. And while it may not be as flexible as a character action game like Bayonetta, Donguri proves that Nier Automata has a lot of stuff going on under the hood. Donguri also recently uploaded a video called Devil May Cry 4 Boss Rush 2018, in which he plays as all 5 playable Devil May Cry 4 Special Edition characters and fights 3 Credos. It's ridiculous. It's great. Check it out. Our next video comes from Liam Robertson, who did a history on the troubled development of The Grinder, a game I was actually interested in back when it was announced. Robertson does some great in-depth reporting on the history of the game and why it never ended up seeing the light of day. It's good stuff, check it out. And we're going to close this out with 2 video essay recommendations. The first is Lindsay Ellis' 3-part Hobbit review, which was recently completed. What starts as a simple yet effective teardown of why the 3 Hobbit films don't work evolves into a history of the movie's production and then expands into an expose on how corporations impact government legislation. It's great stuff. I learned a lot from these videos, and I can only imagine how much time, money, and energy these took to produce. And last but definitely not least is Hbomberguy's Is Sonic 2 About Capitalism? Serious Lore Analysis 3. Now, I know I uploaded a vlog a few weeks back in which I complained about YouTube personalities who rely on skit-based comedy, but I can safely say that Hbomberguy is an exception. I can't really say too much about this one without spoiling it, so just go watch it. All of the videos I just recommended are linked below in the description, go check them out. And we're in the final stretch here. It is time now for the announcement dungeon, where I talk about all of the exciting announcements from the last month. The first thing that caught my eye was the announcement of the localization of Nier Automata Long Story Short, which is a novelization of the game. You can already pre-order it on Amazon, which I'll link to down below, and they also announced the localization of the short story collection Nier Automata Short Story Long. Long Story Short will be coming out later this year in fall, and Short Story Long is apparently scheduled for sometime in 2019. Can't wait to read those two. I also hope this means that a lot more side materials for Yoko Taro games start to get localized moving forward. That would be good news. We also had the reveal of the Spyro Reignited Trilogy coming to PS4 and Xbox one of the worst kept video game secrets in a while. The Spyro PS1 games were some of my favorites as a kid and were very foundational to me as a video game player. I'm excited to revisit those childhood memories, though I'm expecting those games to not be as good as I remember them being. Spyro Reignited Trilogy comes out this September for $40, which is a pretty damn good deal for 3 classic games. So let's close this Rasen report out with some Gundam news. The first thing I want to get into is the Gunpla announcement of a real grade Sazabi kit. I have to say the kit is looking pretty good. The Sazabi is, as always, a fantastic design. And it's being speculated that this will be followed up by a real grade new Gundam, which I would not mind grabbing as well. I'm a little low on shelf space these days, but I can make an exception for these two. Here's hoping we also get a high new Gundam real grade in the future. Not gonna hold my breath for the Nightingale, but hey, I'd take that one too. But moving away from Gunpla and into Gundam proper, we got some Gundam Double O news that's pretty exciting. As some of you know, Gundam Double O is celebrating its 10th anniversary this year, which makes me feel really old even though I'm only 24. So first thing first is we have confirmation of a Gundam Double O sequel series of some kind. We don't know what the medium will be just yet. Could be a TV show, could be a movie, could be a book, could be a stage play. No idea. I'm hoping it's good because I love Gundam Double O, but to be honest, I don't know if I really needed a sequel. But in my opinion, even more exciting is Right Stuff's announcement of the Gundam Double O Ultra Collector's Edition. This is looking pretty similar in concept and design to the Gundam Wing Ultra Collector's Edition that was released a few months back, but I never jumped on that one. However, I like Gundam Double O a lot more than Gundam Wing, and I am definitely going to be picking this up. I already have my pre-order in. Once again, I'll link to where you can pre-order it down below. Finally, to close out the Rasen report, we have news about some new Gundam anime projects. The first is Gundam Narrative, a series of films taking place shortly after Unicorn. We saw a little bit of footage and we have a new Gundam design, which I am digging a whole hell of a lot, so hopefully that ends up being good. It's supposed to come out later in 2018, I guess. Next, we have the announcement of a Hathaways Flash movie trilogy adaptation. For those of you unfamiliar with Hathaways Flash, it is a Gundam side story that follows the adventures of Bright Noah's son Hathaway. And that's actually about the extent of my knowledge on Hathaway's Flash, but I heard it's a pretty highly regarded story, all things considered, so I hope the screen adaptation does it justice. And apparently in 2022 we'll be getting a Gundam Unicorn 2, which, once again, I'm not really sure I need, but I'll take it. It's time for me to wrap this up. Thank you so much for watching the first episode of the Rasen Report. I will see you next month with more hard-hitting Rasen brand journalism. Have a good one. Stay safe out there.